Hey, hope everyone's well today. Thanks for being here. So just got back from doing some traveling on the West Coast, back in the East Coast, and excited today to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is channeling higher intelligence or channeling information from the universe, because we're all on this journey here in the earth plane, trying to be our highest version of ourselves and follow our passions, sometimes work through challenges, right? So what better to be able to do than to tap into our higher self and higher intelligence to help us along that path. So today we're going to talk about just a few ways to be a better radio for this transmission that is happening all around us, this information that is being sent to us from the universe. And the universe is behind us, right? It's completely supportive of our journey. And it wants us to follow this most exciting path. So what it's trying to do is communicate with us. But a lot of us essentially block the signal. So again, we're going to get into how to open up your signal for this. So first, some quick greater context, right? We're all souls. We're all of source. And in our soul state, we are at our highest potential. We are everything we would want to be. We have the answer to every question. And everything within our soul state is known to us. And we essentially in this human existence are trying to join our soul state in our human state so we can create here on the earth plane tied into the power of our soul state. So this is really cool, right? So let's talk about being a better radio receiver for the transmissions that are coming in to try to help us. So we're going to talk about it in the simple structure, which is the mind, body, spirit structure, right? So the first is the mind. And we need to think about this in terms of the mind versus the brain and clearing out that brain, that flow of thoughts that's occurring all the time. So one of the big things we need to do is take some quiet time daily, whether that's meditation, prayer, whatever fits for us, to start to recognize these thoughts from the perceiver perspective. You know, we are not our thoughts. So we're seeing our thoughts from the perceiver perspective, and we're starting to monitor and manage those thoughts. So we're doing it in the meditation, but the big part about this is taking that out to the full day. So wherever we go, we're starting to expand our perceiver perspective of where we're having thoughts and emotions that are impacting us negatively or positive ones. We're starting to expand our perceiver perspective to more throughout the day. And we'll get into why that's important. The second part of this is the body. So generally, we need to just take care of ourselves, right? Do regular exercise, eat a balanced diet, and just not overindulge in things. And I'll leave it to you to decide what's important for you there, but we need to keep our body in a great space. So what we're doing with the mind perspective, when we can control our thoughts better and see those for what they are from our soul perspective, our removed perspective, we are opening up the transmission lines for our higher self in the universe, right? So extensive running of the brain blocks the transmission. So we're opening up those lines of communication. And when our body's in a great place, a comfortable place, then our radio is in good shape, right? So we got a radio in good shape, and we got the ability to open these transmission lines. So what you'll see happen with all of this is the first thing that will happen is your intuition will become stronger. And I consider your intuition how you're making day-to-day decisions, right? So your intuition's going to become stronger, and you're going to feel more tied to your excitement and the steps that you need to take relative to that in intuition-based decisions. And then we expand into this place of receiving these downloads. So the more we work on quieting our mind and we expand that through the day, we put ourselves in a place energetically to start to receive downloads. And what I'll tell you is that most of these downloads that come to me, less than 50% of them are in a meditative state, in my actual meditation, and they just come to me at random points throughout the day. And what is happening is we're all out operating in our day, and we're always in the energetic field, right? Source is everything, so we're in this field. And what we'll find is that if our mind and body are in a good place and our brain's quiet, that at certain times we'll just hit places energetically, whether it's geography or a feeling throughout the day, and these downloads will happen because we're in tune with everything around us and we're not blocked. And what you'll find is that these downloads, as opposed to being one-off decision-making things like gut intuition is, they are greater context for the human existence relative to the soul state. The truth, the deep truth in these is unarguable. So the way I like to think about it is that these downloads are giving you the greater context for everything you're trying to do in your life, relationships with people, how you go about your day-to-day life, how you think about structuring, reaching that place of your highest excitement. And then your gut intuition is kind of helping you make the day-to-day decisions within that. So this is the place where we need to be. We need to move from just having this quiet mind state in our practice day-to-day to taking that to more throughout the day. So as we're operating everywhere we are, we're in the energetic vibration to accept these transmissions coming into us, right? So we're almost essentially always ready because we've controlled our mind and our body. And again, this will give us some great context to how this human existence relates to our soul state and how we connect the human existence with our higher self. So I know you're going to take this and do great things. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you next time.